Oh, I think I went a little early.
Oh, I didn't have my... Oh. We're here. I'm doing it... I'm recording from bed today because it's chilly.
Chilly, chilly.
It's not gonna be. It's gonna be like 80 today, but this morning it's cold, and like our house is just... It's cold this morning.
Yeah, I have all the windows open. It feels nice in here.
Yeah, like I ran out this morning and it was like in the 60s. It's beautiful. I love that. That's my weather. Let's skip this sweaty shit.
Yeah, also, if the Earth could stop being so mad at us.
Yeah, although I understand, but...
I know, we fully understand it's our fault.
It is. Everything's our fault, as per usual.
As per usual.
And welcome back to Oddities, everybody.
That's right.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Anna.
And welcome back, residents and newbies to Strangetown. There, I consolidated it.
Residents and newbies. You sounded like an old-timey reporter.
Maybe I can do my whole topic in that voice.
Residents and newbies to Strangetown.
Residents
Welcome
and
to
newbies
Oddities
to
Radio.
Strangetown. Actually, I think there's quite a bit of you who are new here. So welcome, and of course check out our old episodes and note how we've progressed. I just want to put it that way.
Yeah. Also, how casual we've gotten.
Right. Yes.
Welcome to Oddities Radio.
Which, like, so in the last month or so, we've had like 25 of you who have like followed us along on Facebook and everything, which is probably doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of people, but to us, that's like huge. We were lucky if we were getting like a couple in a month. It's
also like a lot because we don't, which this is going to sound ridiculous, but like we don't know you guys anymore.
I know,
so
like
that's why
we don't know you. I know that's why it's so strange that we have like people who, you know, strangers, but are you really strangers if you're part of the Odd fam? But you know what I'm saying. Right. You know, it's
are you
strange.
Really strangers if you're part of Strangetown?
Oh, wowie zowie!
Wasn't there? I feel like there was a podcast called Strangetown.
Oh shit! Really? Have I been ripping that off this whole time? I didn't even realize it.
No. I mean, we're using it in a different context.
All right. Good. Fine. Great.
Good.
So anyway, welcome. And as per usual, all of our information, like our social info, is in the description box. Follow along. We'd love to have you join. We also have a link to our merch store. And if you are willing and able, please consider donating to our Patreon. Those funds go towards covering the costs associated with running this podcast every month. And anything additional, we're going to look towards, you know, improving the quality of it. So, yay. Yeah. And, and you can donate as low as $1 a month or whatever equivalent in your currency.
Yeah.
So,
and then you get our ridiculous Burnish content.
Burnish content. Every Wednesday you get an additional episode, and they're a lot of fun.
And you see our faces.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Also, if you are a patron and you feel like you're like, I don't think they're giving us the content we want, let us know.
Yeah, let us know what content you do want. But
yeah.
And as always, you know, we never say this, but I think we should. If you have the time and you would like to, please leave a review for us on whatever platform you're listening on, because that's nice and helps us grow the audience, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a lot.
Yeah, we're wild this morning.
We're wild and crazy
kids.
So, how are you, my friend?
I can't lie to you. I won't lie to you, Odd Fam. I'm a little hungover this morning.
Oopsie poopsie. You know what? I feel like we hardly spoke this week, so I don't know what anything about your world.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was a short week. We did hardly speak this week. It was a short week, which fine. But I got a couple things in the mix that I won't talk about on the podcast just in case.
Oh, but can I hear about them?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Great.
It's just not for all the podcast listeners.
Okay, touche.
But I went out last night with my dear friend, who's such a fun time. And
Woo!
every time I go out with her, I'm always like, "Oh, we won't be out late," and then
you're out
late. Door very late.
And yes, indeed.
But that's how that happens. So, yeah, but otherwise, I'm fine. I've been listening to, it's called The Friendship Onion. It's a podcast with Dom Monaghan and Billy Boyd, who played Merry and Pippin in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I love that for them.
And it's the most adorable podcast. Their friendship is so pure, and they are so cute, and I'm obsessed with it. Go listen to The Friendship Onion, because it's really cute.
Wow.
And that's been me. How are you?
I'm fine. Let's see. I just, like, things have just been very busy, you know? So I've started this new job, and P.S., I love it. And the company's so
Hooray!
amazing. The team is so fucking nice. Amazing.
We
just
love to see it.
Chef's kiss galore, you know?
Love it.
You know, I've been getting up at 5 every day and biking, so that's a lot of fun. And
Because you got the bike.
I got the bike, so loving
Wait,
that.
do they know?
Oh no! So Amazon Prime Day pass that we got a stationary bike, and
I'm so glad you like it.
oh yeah, I love it. And lots and lots and lots of schoolwork. Like the next month or so, I'm fucked. So we're for sure gonna have to start doubling up on some shit. I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah. So, other than that, like in a month or so is my bachelorette party. So that's Trey exciting. And then like a month after that is my bridal shower. Also Trey exciting.
I have to tell you, I'm in fucking utter shock that we're going into August.
Dude, what the hell? I know.
Well, I guess going into August is dramatic. It's the 10th.
It's not even mid-July, but that's okay. We're going in August anyway. Beep beep August.
It just feels like August is already like now I'm thinking about things happening in August when I feel like a month ago August felt like 3 years from now. Like time is really all fucked up since COVID.
Dude, I know. And like I made my first appointment for my dress fitting. Like there's like 3 appointments for it. And it's like September 12th, and so she's like, "Okay, see you soon." And I was like, "Oh my god, that is kind of soon."
See, that's what I'm saying.
That shit's gonna be knocking on my door like before I know it. It's wild.
Yeah, like your bachelorette party's literally almost a month out. Like that feels crazy.
I know. And then in other news, let's see. I sprouted a really wonderful like under the skin pimple on the corner of my nose,
Yeah,
and so
those
like
can fuck off.
anytime I do anything with my face, like internally, I'm shrieking. Like smiling hurts, like flaring my nostrils. I didn't realize how often I flare my nostrils until this showed up. Like, it hasn't even been here long. What am I doing? Why am I doing that so much?
Just
Flare. Yeah, so that's it.
Have you ever had a nostril like on the inside of your nose, like right on the rim, or a nostril?
A nostril.
Did you hear,
I do in fact have one of those. But yes, I have like a pimple, like, but like
right in the
right
line
in there,
of the nostril.
Oh yeah, that's like, but this one is like on the outer, it's like on the outer edge, and you can't even see it.
Yeah,
it's just like
But you know,
I'm so keenly aware that it's there. Anyway, that's my world.
What a day.
Yeah,
we're a little like, I feel like we're like this morning, but
zippity
whatever.
doo-dah. You know why? I was bad this morning, and I went and I got Taco Bell breakfast.
Dude, I don't. Okay, full disclosure, I think I've had Taco Bell once in my life, and I was drunk, so it doesn't really count.
I love Taco Bell, and I gotta say this: it was like a breakfast burrito, which I'm not supposed to have because I'm not supposed to have gluten or dairy, and it was delicious. But I am so like I'm so aware that I'm gonna pay for it like in short order.
Sure, I just love that you were like, You woke up this morning and you were like, this is what I want.
Well, first of all, yeah, like I woke up and I was like, I'm fucking starving. And then I like looked at what we don't have much. I have to go grocery shopping today. So I was like, Taco Bell it is. Yeah.
Right. I was like the other day, I had nothing for lunch and I was like, fuck it, I'm ordering Wendy's.
That's it. That's how you do it. That's how it's done. So,
because sometimes being an adult's really fun because you're like, oh, I have to make food, but then other times you're like, I can just order Wendy's and no one can stop me.
That's exactly right. So it was delicious. I do feel like a little bit ill, but worth.
Party.
Yeah.
Party.
Yeah. Fun.
And so Cassie's dealing with Taco Bell and I'm hungover.
And so this is what you all came for. Congratulations. So now that we've, I don't know, we've literally been shooting the shit for about 10 minutes.
You're all welcome. We haven't talked to each other all week.
I know. What do you guys expect? Should we give the people what they want?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to go first? Mine's short.
Oh, yeah, mine's on the shorter side, but mine's wild. Go ahead. You start.
Mine's pretty wild, too. Okay, zippity-doo-dah. Here
Here
we
we
come.
go.
So today's topic is brought to you by my cousin, Kate. Hello, Kate, and thank you for
Hello,
this
Kate.
topic. So she recommended something called the Exorcist Manual, and I thought, what? So I looked it up, and it actually, I actually find it out.
I find it.
Out.
The Taco Bell.
Oh, okay. I found out
Yep.
actually a bit more about the person who wrote it. There's not a ton on this manual that I could find, but it's still really cool and interesting. So here we go. Everybody shut up. Here we go. So the guy who wrote this, his name was okay, you have to bear with me because this is all Babylonian shit. It's like
Okay.
Esiogil Keen Opley.
I don't know if it's because I've been listening to a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff, but all of a sudden I was like, Isildur!
Isildur! So, can I just tell you really fast? I joined a Lord of the Rings meme group on Facebook, and that's the shit I've been sending you. That's the shit I've been sending you.
First of all, that's why they've been so gold.
They are fire. Did you see the Queen of England one I sent you?
That one sent me over the. But see, I'm so bad. I mean, you know this about me. I'm so bad with my phone that I was like ha 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 ha, and then put my phone down and didn't answer.
You don't need to answer because I know you saw it.
And it was perfect.
Yeah, and so that's I send you those FYI when I'm on the toilet.
Full disclosure.
Okay. Anyway, this guy Esiogil Keen was
Isildur.
Isildur was the chief scholar of Babylonian king Adad Apla Idina, who existed from 1076 to 1046. As he appears on the Uruk list of sages and scholars, circa 165 BCE. List of sages and scholars.
How do I get on that list?
Listed beside him, and he's best known for his diagnostic handbook, which is called the Psychiku, which is a medical treatise which uses symptoms to ascertain etiology, frequently supernatural, and prognosis, which became the received text during the first millennium. So, and he was from a learned family. He was referred to as the son of Asuluhi Mansum, who was a sage during Hammurabi's time.
What's the difference between a sage and what is a sage technically?
What is a sage? I don't know. Let's take a look-see, shall we, everybody? Sage, what am I doing? Sage versus scholar?
I guess. But is a sage
I feel like sages are more
what are we dealing with here?
Woo.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so a scholar is a student, one who studies at school or college. Thank you. While a sage is a wise person or spiritual teacher. So I think it has to be we err more in the realm of spiritual and spookala bookala if you're a sage,
Got it. Okay.
I'm
just wondering how that can people that are faith healers and shit like that, they can be
they'd be like a sage, I
sages.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. Okay.
So, right, or as I put it, in the realm of spookala bookala. So
right, sure.
Let's talk.
I liked the ooh category.
Yeah. Yeah, broad category, ooh, subcategory, spookala bookala. Okay. So his works. Number 1, The Exorcist Manual, which is also sometimes described as a vademecum, and is a compendium of the works of all those aspiring to master the asiputu, or craft of exorcism.
I just guess I think it's very bananas that people were doing this at such an early time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess there wasn't much else to do. So
why not perform an exorcism?
Might as well perform some exorcisms. So these writings, they include exorcism rituals, royal rituals, medical knowledge, incantations, and omen series. This for sure falls into the category of ooh.
Yeah. What the hell is an Omen series? That's the movie series. They predicted it.
That's it. They predicted it. I think it's probably like somebody sat there and like came up with all these ideas for like shit that's good, or like omens showing shit that was going to happen. They're like, let's write this shit down.
They were basically like Professor Trelawney and Harry Potter.
Yeah, for sure. Only not as cool because that was Emma. That was Emma Thompson. Yeah. All right. So let's see. It's actually composed of 2 manuals. The first concerning Kakugalatutu, which is exorcism corpus, and then the second being Isiputu, esoteric knowledge. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's all part of the first. The second, the second is the Manual of the Exorcist according to the scholar Ezekiel Kianoply, and then goes on to list works like the Great Omen series of astrological and terrestrial portents. Spookala bookala indeed. Then there's something called the Ezekiel Kianoply catalog. So this is like all about him, right? And it's like
it's where you can buy his merch.
Yeah, big time. It's basically like a biographical introduction, and then he like provides an explanation for this like new edition of the Diagnostic Compendium and like the Physiognomic series, and he describes, quote, regarding the twin series, their arrangement is one. So basically, like you gotta look at both of them together to get the full shebang. Now it does credit the authorship of the 2 works to the god Ea. It's EA. I don't E. But
we are the knights who say ni.
Exactly. And then there's another writing called the Alam Dimu, which actually the full thing is Summa Elam Dimu, which means if the form, and it contains physiognomic omens on 27 tablets. And then in his catalog, Ezekiel Kianoply describes the work as, quote, concerning external form and appearance and how they imply the fate of the man that Ea and Asaluhi ordained in heaven. So basically it's like it has to do with your form and what that means for your future based on like what the god Ea set forth for you, pretty much.
I like the title "If the Form." I love that. That sounds like a rock album.
If the form fits, wear it.
That's right.
I'll see myself out. Anyway, the first 12 tablets of this Summa Alam Dimu proper, it's subdivided into sections beginning with Summa Nigdimdimu, which is if the appearance or shape, and that's on 2 tablets. And then the extant copies are too fragmentary to interpret. So like a lot of this stuff at this point has been kind of like lost to history. Right. And it talks about like omens based on the appearance of a woman, which is like very strange. And then like another bit of it talks about if a spot or mole, and then it like trails off because it's like,
oh, bye.
Disintegrated. So we don't know what that means.
Oh boy. I have a lot of moles. What does it mean? And
then there's like another tablet and it says if the vein on the right side of his forehead throbs, and then we don't know. We don't know.
You know what? I kind of secretly wish that they had done this on purpose, so it's just all cliffhangers.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, I mean, it's all just like, and then there's a section that talks about involuntary movements. So, like, in my mind, when I heard that or read that, I was like, oh, maybe that's like seizures or something like that. Right. So, it's interesting stuff. And then another work by this guy is the Sakiku, and this is like symptoms. It covers all kinds of symptoms, and it's like diagnostic omens that like he used to like produce this text. And he says that of the omens, quote, that since long ago had not been organized into a new edition, but was tangled like threads and had no master edition. So kind of like the way I'm viewing this thing is it's like a ye old Grey's Anatomy textbook. That's kind of what I'm like taking away from it, all of this.
Yeah.
And like the primary purpose of this, it was a diagnostic tool, but it was also to identify the divine sender of the disease.
Divine sender?
Yeah, all these diseases were perceived to be like messages from a deity. So
I see.
Yeah, so he applies like a logical set of axioms and assumptions, and he includes the need to like inspect the symptoms of a patient in order to come up with this diagnosis, which is like that's on the right, track. But then he arranges like more than 3,000 entries systematically from head to foot, left to right, and in the color sequence of red, brown, yellow, green, black, or white.
Oh.
And yeah, it's divided into 6 chapters of unequal length. It starts with a 2-tablet section beginning, quote, when the exorcist goes to the house of a sick person, and then it provides the omens that one might encounter on the way, like a multicolored pig. And if you see this multicolored pig, the patient has dropsy. In the 2nd chapter, quote, when you approach the sick man, inspection from the head to the feet. Like, again, some of this is missing, but anyway. And that's attributed to the authorship of the deity Ea. And anyway, this whole thing, it was like 12 tablets. The first 7 are devoted solely to the head. The 3rd chapter is on infectious diseases. Quote, if he is sick for one day and then it includes like the course of the disease. But like, you know, yeah, so that one's not as big of a cliffhanger.
I have to say, the sentence that said, if you're going to see the sick man and see a multicolored pig, should finish with, you're sick, go home.
You should probably take some time off. Yeah.
You should probably go see a doctor instantly.
A real doctor.
Something's wrong.
So then,
Oops.
pardon me, when the burrito hits. So, the 4th chapter of this exclusively deals with neurological syndromes. So, like epilepsy, strokes, and then tying in with neurological syndromes, we've got ghosts and gods.
Sure.
And there are some magical prescriptions within the work. So,
I mean, technically, I really hate to be this person, but I feel like technically, if you think about it, we invented ghosts and gods, so they are kind of a neurological symptom.
Dude, big time. So, let's see. And the catalog names, like, there's like 5 tablets within this chapter, and it says, one of them says, quote, if a fall... That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense what I wrote. I wrote, if a fall falls upon him.
If a fall falls upon him. If he happens upon a fall.
I don't know what I meant by that. I'm sorry, everybody. But then I said, another thing is, quote, if a man's face has been struck by palsy. Quote, if the hand of a spirit turns him into an antasubha, which is basically a sudden seizure. They're calling it fallen from heaven. Or it says, quote, if Lugal Ur Ra is born with him, and, quote, if he is ill and opens his mouth all the time. So, like, talks about, like, all of these sort of, like, if he opens his mouth all the fucking time.
Holy shit, we gotta get rid of this demon.
And it possibly treats, like, with specific diseases, you know, like skin lesions, fever. The 33rd tablet is dedicated to giving the name to a disease based on its nature. The 6th and final chapter, also consisting of 5 tablets, has to do with women and infants. Quote, and this is like no help, but this is how it starts. If a fertile woman is pregnant, like, no. And then it concerns like gynecology, in which the gender and fortune of the unborn child are diagnosed by symptoms encountered during the course of the pregnancy, like change in shape and color of nipples. P.S. Doesn't that just like happen? For, like, all the time? Yeah.
But also, people still do that. Like, there are still old wives' tales where people used to make my sister, like, turn to the side. So they could be like, I know what you're having based on how you're holding it, how it's sitting or something. I was like, what?
So no joke. So my future sister-in-law is pregnant. And we did the thing last night where you wave, like, a gold ring over her stomach to figure out what she's having.
See what I'm saying? It's like, this is like the same shit.
Yeah, according to the ring, everybody, it's a boy, so I guess we'll see. It's early yet, so we don't know. But anyway, so, like, there's not a ton that I could find on this. I'd like to do, like, a deeper dive sometime and see if there's more about like, how he went about talking about like the craft of exorcism and things like that. But a lot of it was just like, really, a lot of his writings were largely like an early medical manual. And of course they were like totally bizarre and weird and, you know.
But that's so interesting that it was like like I fully expected it to be like a Catholic book kind of thing, where it was going to be like, and then you lay them down and you sprinkle the holy water, and then their head turns all the way around. You know, like I thought it was going to be some wild shit, and it was just like a medical journal. Like that's, to me, that's way more interesting.
Yeah, it's that's exactly right. It's like an early medical journal. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is like totally bizarre, i.e., if you see a multicolored pig on the way to visiting your patient has dropsy, and it's like, what? But okay.
But also, put down the weed you've been smoking. It seems like it's too strong.
Yeah, or like, leave those mushrooms out of your next dish. So it's just, the whole...
Stop picking those mushrooms, Bob.
So this is, I guess, like, consider this my introduction to the Exorcist Manual. Frankly, when I looked, I couldn't find all that much, but I know there's got to be more out there on that part of it specifically. So I want to look into it further. But it's cool, nonetheless.
It is very cool. But this was a very long time ago.
Oh, big time. And yeah, like, unfortunately, like I was saying, a lot of the pieces of it have, like, disintegrated at this point. So.
Right. Do you think he named it the Exorcist Manual to just be like, this will get people to buy? I'm thinking of
big time.
Like clickbait.
Big time. Yeah, this is yield clickbait.
Yeah. He just wanted people to pick it up. They were like, ooh, I gotta perform an exorcism. Meanwhile, he's talking about multicolored pigs. Bro, see a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, that's the guy. Isildur, I'm not even gonna... Isildur. Yeah, and, a brief intro to the Exorcist Manual. It's like, stay tuned for part 2. I'd really like to do a deeper dive on it and see what else I can find.
That's really interesting, though.
Yeah, but I thought this was cool enough to share, what I did come across. So here we are. So are you playing in the realm of medical this week, or are we taking a left turn?
Incidentally, kind of.
Shut up! Really? That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing the story of Aimo Koivunen.
Of course.
I think that's how you say his name. I have a quick disclaimer, okay? So the sad truth of... Because I'm dealing with meth in this. That's not a lie.
I thought you were just going to leave it at, I'm dealing with meth. I'm like, wow, where does really? Okay.
No.
All right.
In this story, there's, it surrounds meth. And the sad truth of it is that a lot of people get addicted and overdose and shit like that. So, there's a lot of deaths attached to it, and it's super fucking sad. So, if that kind of thing is triggering, then skip my story this week.
Skippity-doo-dah and stay strange.
Yeah, but I just felt like I had to say that because that is the real truth, is that it's very sad and is connected to so many deaths and addictions, and it's very sad.
Oh yeah, it's like a very rampant thing.
This is in no way glorifying that.
Right.
Just want to but this story's so fucking wild that I literally couldn't do it.
Okay, all right, hit us with it.
So, here's some quick background. Here we go. Except for a small time between 1940 and 1941, the Finns had been at war with the Soviets since 1939. When Stalin demanded for Finland to cede to him, and they were like, no, and Stalin invaded Finland.
Dude, Finland is just, like, chilling. Like, could we not... I mean, literally, I think it's cold there. But also, like, could we not just leave them? Like, they're just hanging out.
But this is the best bit. The Finnish reportedly humiliated Stalin because even though they were outnumbered, they put up so much resistance. We love to see it.
I love that for them. Well,
love it.
Snaps for Finland.
That's right. Yep. So the Soviets got through eventually, and the Finnish came to terms with Stalin in 1940, ceding him the land he demanded, which were ports and lands near St. Petersburg and in the far north that had been part of the Russian Empire from 1809 to 1917. So Stalin was like, I want this back. And they were like, fuck you.
Mine.
And they could only put him at bay for so long. So, of course, during 1940, Stalin's a little busy because Hitler's arrived on the scene.
Right. There he is.
So he wasn't that interested in Finland anymore. So when the opportunity arose to get their land back, the Finnish were like, hell yeah. So they went in on the Soviets in 1941 to reclaim it. They apparently declared to Hitler that they were only interested in regaining their land and wouldn't fight beyond their original borders.
Cool.
They were like, no, we're here to get our land back, and then we're fucking leaving again. We're not involved in your bullshit.
They came with a clean, clear-cut agenda. They were like, we're doing this. And I love a well-defined plan. That's how Mama feels about that. So
that's it. So the fighting around St. Petersburg, then called Leningrad, went on for 900 days before the Soviets drove everybody back.
Dude.
So amidst this, in Lapland, which is hilarious, it sounds like a theme park.
Lapland sounds like
it sounds like a theme park.
To me, that sounds like a stripper's, like it sounds like a...
We went down 2 different routes.
We sure did. Okay.
So in Lapland, a theme park or a strip club, depending on who you are.
Yep.
The Finns and the Germans continued to battle the Red Army until late in the war when the Soviets drove them back into Finland, like I was saying. Mm. This leads us to our man, Imo Koivunen. He was on a ski patrol south of the port city of Murmansk in March 1944.
Like you do.
Sure. His unit gets attacked and surrounded by the Soviets. He manages to escape encirclement, which, I gotta tell you, I don't know what the fuck life was like during the war. That must have been unbelievable. But this motherfucker's also on skis.
Dude, if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be a Finnish person on skis. Like...
It's wild. So,
yeah, this guy was set for this.
He's tasked with carrying the unit supply of pervitin, which is an early form of amphetamine.
Ah, yes.
Which was supplied to German and Finnish soldiers to keep them awake during guard duty, long patrol, and other draining tasks. In my notes, I go, I'm sorry, what the fuck?
I actually think that they still use some sort of... I don't know if it's technically an amphetamine or what form it is, but they do provide like some kind of like stimulant to like pilots now, like Air Force pilots, I believe, for long.
I just think it's out of control that you're giving amphetamines to soldiers,
dude. Big time. I know,
but
okay. Here we are.
Here we are. So during his escape from encirclement, our man became tired because he was skiing for hours to escape them.
As one does. Oh,
sure.
Donut just broke in.
A dog has entered the
Sorry.
chat.
I don't even know how that happened.
I just heard the confident strides.
Oh yeah, and you could picture it, right? Like her little rump doing the thing.
I got in.
Yeah, let's just like elevator music here. Hang on, I'll be right back. I just want to shut the door again. That dog's got a lot of fucking attitude. All right. Okay. But honestly, what did I expect if it's my dog? So
comes in, drops food bowl, leaves.
I know. With her little corky ass. Okay.
She's like, bye, bitch.
Wiggle,
I said
wiggle.
What I said.
Hate to see you go, but love to watch me leave.
Jesus. Okay.
All right.
So in the semi-darkness, while on skis, he couldn't get out a single pill of pervitin, which was the safe dosage, so he just downs the bottle and takes all 30.
Holy shit. Well, you know what, though? Like, I can understand this guy, because there's been moments where I'm like, oh, I'll just have one M&M. And then I'm just like, can't get the one M&M out, so I just fucking house the bag of them, you know?
Also, I can't open a pill bottle in my bathroom.
And this fucking guy's
on
skiing.
A normal... Right. He's skiing. He's probably freezing.
Yeah.
You know,
it's been hours of this bullshit for this guy.
He's exhausted.
Yeah. Right.
So, honestly, this probably should have killed him. But
I would say so.
Did not.
Oh, okay.
He keeps flashing in and out of consciousness while he's skiing, and then he finally loses consciousness completely.
Jesus. Flashing in and out of consciousness while skiing. I'm just gonna let that sit there. Yep.
That's one of the scariest sentences I've ever heard.
I don't ski.
I think skiing is super fun, but is scary anyway. And now you're flashing in and out of consciousness. Like, I can't.
No.
So he wakes up, he's got no ammo, his comrades are gone, and he has no supplies other than water, his rifle, and whatever he's wearing.
Okay, well, we've got water and a rifle and our clothes, so that's some... Does he have his skis still?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
he still has his skis.
All right.
So the pervitin and the fear of being caught just, like, propels him through the landscape.
I bet it does.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
He's got a firecracker up his ass.
We are moving and grooving.
We sure are.
Yeah.
So apparently he skis straight into a bunch of Soviets. They're
Same.
so surprised because they're like, who's coming at us headlong? That he just skis like right through them basically. Because they were just like, what the fuck?
Surprise, bitch.
They never thought he was supposed to see me. Just comes rocketing in. They're like, whoa.
At this point, when I'm picturing him, he's going like 80 miles an hour.
Dude,
he's,
he must have been moving.
world's fastest skier.
Yeah, like all of a sudden he's an Olympian.
Yeah, like holy shit. All right.
So he escapes them, but he sets off a landmine.
Oh, oops. Okay.
So sustains serious injuries. He lays in a ditch for a week, waiting for help. No help comes. He gets back on his skis and goes on.
What the fuck are these? What is he made out of?
Okay? He travels
That's what he's made out of.
Right. He travels 250 miles from his point of origin.
Oh my
I feel
God.
like I have to go back and highlight this. He hit a landmine. Like, what?
This is like, dude. I there and back again. A finished tale. Like,
Okay, so when he's found and admitted to a nearby hospital,
Finally.
thank God, his heart rate was measured at 200 beats per minute.
okay, so he's been in a ditch for like 4 days, and all of that shit's still in his system.
200 beats per minute.
Oh my God.
That's like triple the average human heartbeat.
That's true.
He's just like Jesus.
You know what though? It's not even just the drugs though, because like at this point it's sheer adrenaline, from probably dealing with like
Everything.
the blast and everything, and also probably like significant dehydration. You know,
Right.
all of that fun stuff. Yeah.
So he weighed 94 pounds and reportedly subsisted on pine buds and a single Siberian jay that he caught and ate raw.
That's so metal.
Dude, this man has endured things I will never understand.
This guy is the definition of big dick energy.
For real.
Like, I mean,
This is
seriously.
the hardest man I've ever met in my life. If anyone ever
Dude,
had a
big time.
question of who was going to survive the zombie apocalypse, it's this fucking guy.
It's this dude. Yeah, big time.
So
And he just like ski his way through it.
right, he's like, "Bye, bitch." So he survives and died peacefully at the age of 71.
Wow. What did he do with the rest of his life?
I hope he sat down forever.
I hope he, first of all, I hope he just went to like a warm, sunny, beachy place and had like a few margaritas and just like kicked back.
I hope he took all the naps.
Oh yeah. Big time. And I hope he never touched skis again.
I hope they never made him do anything again. And that's the
Wow.
story of Imo Koivunen,
That's fucking wild.
right?
So this guy just like shooped right through all the, oh my God, I can't. I'm still caught up on when he skied through all the Soviets.
There's so many layers to this story. That's why I liked it. Because at first I was like,
Yes.
okay, so he takes all this amphetamine and lives. Then he skis through
Yeah.
Soviets. Then he sets off a landmine, lays in a ditch for a while, goes right back on his skis, eats a bird raw, and then lands in the hospital 250 miles later. And they're like, your heart's 200 beats per minute.
we need to do something about that.
You need
That
to lay
poor
down,
guy.
sir.
Oh my God. Yeah, do you think he just like I'm picturing him like walking into the hospital and dropping his skis like a fucking mic drop.
Honestly, if he didn't,
I need treatment.
he didn't walk into the hospital and drop his skis and just be like, somebody help, before he passed out, like, I don't know what he... So, like,
Wow, what a prince.
the body has got to respond, so I would imagine, like, he gets to a calm place, and then his body's just like, and shut down. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, totally. Like, you know how after you've had like something monumental happen and then like you can finally get to somewhere that's safe and you're just like,
Right.
Like he let out like the biggest sigh of relief in the universe.
Yeah, because you're right. Like I'm sure a lot of it was the drugs. He shouldn't have taken so many of them. But it was
Yes.
just, I'm sure it was also like he skis through so directly through Soviets. Then he sets off a
Yeah, and
landmine.
he basically had like a week straight of pure adrenaline with
Right.
like 30 amphetamines on top of it.
Right. So I can only imagine he sees like just like a nice like finished nurse or doctor, and he's like, "Oh my god, thank God," and just passes out.
Dude, that's what I would do. I like as soon as I like it would be the type of thing where like I had enough willpower to get to where I needed to be, and then everything would just shut off and I'd be
Right.
done. Yeah, exactly. So wow, kudos to that guy. What a fucking boss.
What I mean, a champion of men, you know?
Dude, dude, big time.
Yeah, but that's
I
my
really
story.
like that's crazy. How did you even like come up with this topic?
I feel like I read about him somewhere, and I saw the name, and I was like, because you guys are seeing the name in the title. I saw the name, and I was
It's,
like, click, and then all of a sudden it
yeah.
was like, because some names are like not a clickable link, but his was.
Yeah, right.
And I was just like, click.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, wait,
Yeah.
what happened? And then what happened? And then what happened?
God, this guy was so hardcore.
Guy's
Wow.
the most metal motherfucker.
What an interesting topic. Well done, dude.
Thank
that was
you.
that was a ride. I felt like I just skied
I
like
know.
250 miles. That was crazy.
Poor man. My God.
Yes. Oh, you know what? This reminds me. Before we like wrap up here real fast.
Yeah.
We received this wild story from one of our listeners.
Are we gonna throw it
and
in?
we have to No, no, no.
Okay.
We don't have to do it today. I think we should do like but I want to do like another listeners episode.
Yeah.
So, if we only have the one, I think we can do that, but it'll be shorter. But if anybody hears this and, they have a personal, this person wrote to us with a ghost story, but
You can
if
send
you
in
have
anything.
yeah, it could be anything. Anything that's, crazy, spookala
Spookala.
bookala, not just wild, like, feel free to send it to us. And I love doing the listeners episodes.
They're
and
so
it's been a while,
fun.
so I think it's time. I think it's time.
I think it's time. Also, did you ski
So-
through the mountains? Did you go through Soviets? Let us know.
Did you pop 30 times the amount of amphetamines?
Please
that you
don't
were
do
supposed
that.
to? Don't do that. Jesus. But anyway, as always, thank you all very much for listening. If you come across a multicolored pig on your way to seeing somebody, really probably just ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
And next time you're going skiing, just think of our Finnish friend.
Yeah. Also, I feel like the story, the overlapping theme is like, if you feel tired, lay down.
That's exactly it. And while you're laying down, make sure you
Stay strained.
I mixed it up there, you see that?
Ooh.
Ooh.